Hello everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. I'm excited to bring this recipe to you today for homemade stuffing. It's a side dish, a deluxe holiday special. It's a must-have at Christmas time. But first, just a quick reminder that my cookbook is out on Amazon. So there is a link provided in the description below this video so that you can go straight to the Amazon page to purchase it. And thank you so much in advance. Now let's get right to making today's recipe. So of course we'll start with some dried bread cubes, and you can buy them in the store or ready for you like this. Or you can dry out your own, just by placing some bread in the oven at 350 degrees for about 15 minutes till it dries out, and then breaking them into cubes. Either way, you'll need about 4.5 to 5 cups of these, and place them in a large mixing bowl. Now take a medium sweet onion and chop it. It should mount to about 1 cup. Wash and prepare some fresh celery. You'll need 3/4 cup of this. And if you can get your hands on fresh herbs, that's the best for this recipe. But today I couldn't get that for the rosemary, so I'm using the dried rosemary, and you'll need a tablespoon of that. You'll also need a tablespoon of freshly chopped sage. And also 1 tablespoon of freshly chopped Italian parsley. And also 2 cloves of fresh garlic. And that should be finely chopped. This time of the year it might be a little hard to find some of the fresh herbs, but most of the grocery stores will carry them. And if you can't, you can substitute for the dried version. So alright, let's get to putting this together. Melt 1/3 cup of unsalted butter in a medium-sized frying pan. Then add the sweet onions to the pan. And here we're adding the celery as well. The finely chopped garlic is next. Turn your heat on high and give it a bit of a stir. Add 1/2 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. And also 1/2 teaspoon of kosher salt. And continue to fry this over the medium to high heat. And do this for about maybe 5 minutes until the onions turn translucent. And it's starting to smell really good as well. It's really quite fragrant. And like I said, the onions will turn translucent, and actually the celery will become more tender as well. Okay, so now we can add the fresh herbs that we've already prepared. And it's 1 tablespoon of each. So it's the sage, the Italian parsley, and also the rosemary. Now we've just prepared a really good medley of flavor. And this will be what really shines through when you go to taste this. There, now turn your heat off and add 3/4 cup of chicken stock. Give it a bit of a stir to make sure that all the ingredients are well incorporated. And then take and pour that directly over top of your dried bread cubes. And stir that in until it's really well mixed together and as evenly distributed as you can get it. Now I love this part. Add 3/4 cup of raisins, which is just simply dried cranberries, and mix that in a little bit. Then you take about 2 tablespoons of butter, put it into a small frying pan, add about 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and toss in some whole pecans. Now you have your heat on over medium-high, and you continually stir them back and forth so that they get well coated, and we'll caramelize these. And once they seem to be coated really well after 2 or 3 minutes, I place them on a plate and let them cool off. Then I put them onto a cutting board, and I chop them, and set it aside until we're ready to add them. But first we crack a medium-sized egg into a small dish and add about 2 teaspoons of chicken stock. And beat that together to thin it out a little bit, and add that to the stuffing mixture. And quickly mix it in. This will help your stuffing to cling together better, and also add its own element of flavor too. And yes, we're going to add some chopped caramelized pecans. 1/3 cup of these. Now I think this makes it really special when you add the cranberries and the caramelized pecans. It could be optional if you don't want to though. Now grease a small casserole dish and add your stuffing to it. I just spread it out evenly, but I don't pat it down very much. You want it to remain a little bit fluffy. Alright, so it's ready to go into the oven. So have your oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then place the casserole dish on the medium rack. Set your timer for about 35 minutes. And when it's finished, it'll be lightly browned on the edges and slightly cling together and nice and moist in the middle. I absolutely love this dish, and I could eat it just by itself, but it's a wonderful addition to any meal, and especially turkey or chicken. The buttery herb flavor shines through nicely, and you have a little bit of a crunch with those caramelized pecans, a slightly sweet but tart flavor from the cranberries. You're gonna love this. So Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy New Year. And thanks so much for watching today's episode. Now go make some and share it with your family and friends.